Hi, how is everybody doing? You guys okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. Some of you guys are joining us for the first time. You weren't able to join last week. I just want to quickly just do a very, very quick recap. Um, I'm going to share my screen with my Blackboard on it. So when you guys go into Blackboard for this class, last week you would have seen this message, welcome to 0911. After we had our session on Wednesday, I posted another announcement. And then today, after today's session, I will also post another announcement. And that's kind of the way, that's the pattern that I will kind of follow. I know that some of you guys sent me your schedules as far as when you're available for live sessions. The first few weeks, I'm going to choose different days and different times, just to kind of give everyone just to kind of like diversify the offerings a little bit, to give everyone a chance to be able to join live, and I'll see which one works better, or the best for everybody, and we'll kind of set a day and a time from there. I do expect you guys to read the announcement. So the first thing I'll always do is post the recording for the session. Always watch the recording. I know it can kind of be a drag to watch it, because it is like, recorded in real time, but it's important that you watch it. I asked you guys to complete the welcome quiz, so thank you for doing that. And I also kind of I reviewed a little bit of what we did in our live session, and then I told you guys that I was changing my plan. I'm sorry I did that, but I felt like it was the best decision. And basically, I told you guys to not do the writing assignment that I had told you to do. And the reason was that I wanted to spend some time today, kind of talking a little bit more about that. So last week, what is the lesson that we went over? I gave you guys an overview of the class, and then what is the lesson? What is lesson one for this semester in this class? Anyone? I need somebody to tell me.
Developing ideas.
Thank you. Developing ideas. Developing ideas is something that we're going to spend a few weeks on. Can somebody tell me what it means to develop ideas? Don't be afraid to give the wrong answer.
I'm sorry, can you repeat it, please?
What does it mean when I ask you guys to develop ideas? What do you think that means?
To like think of, I guess like depending on what our topic would be, to think of ideas that would like support that topic.
Okay, anybody else? Somebody? What else does it mean to develop ideas? Let me give you guys an example. If I tell you guys, Atlanta is my favorite city. Atlanta is my favorite city for three reasons. One of the reasons is that it's a big city. Another reason is that there's lots of fun stuff to do. And another reason is something else. Hold on, I'm gonna get a whiteboard. You guys should be able to see my whiteboard right now. Atlanta is my favorite city because it is big, has lots of fun stuff to do, and blah blah blah. Okay? Whatever, some third reason. Is this developed? Yes or no?
I don't think so.
No,
Why don't Okay, why do you, Jonathan, why is this well developed? Y'all, you got to tell me. The people watching the recording are going to be like, oh my God, there's too much quiet time. We got to move it. Jonathan says this is well developed. Why, Jonathan? Marjorie, you said no. Both of you need to tell me why.
There's not enough details on
Okay,
it
this is
has a
just the
lot.
main idea. So this is not my whole essay. This is just my thesis statement. This is just my main idea. You're right, it does not have any details, but why is this not well developed?
Hello?
Yeah. Why is this not well developed?
Hi.
Or why
I'm
is
sorry.
it well developed? I'm going to give you guys another sentence down here. Can you guys see my sentence?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So Chicago is my favorite city because it is big, has lots of fun stuff to do, and ... New York City is my favorite city because it is big, has lots of fun stuff to do, and ... So what is the pattern you guys are seeing here? I see you guys are telling me like it's not explaining why or it's not enough information, but remember, everything is not going to be stuffed into one sentence. That's what the whole essay is going to be for. All the details will come in this, it will come in the essay. So we're not going to give examples yet. This is just one sentence. This is just my main idea. It's just my thesis statement. That's it. I want somebody to tell me why this is, I've given you 2 hints. Chicago is blah, blah, blah. New York City is blah, blah, blah.
Well,
I'm going to give you another hint.
okay, am I gonna be wrong? I don't know, but it just
That's
can be because it doesn't have like doesn't define anything about New York at all, just a little bit.
Hey, excellent. 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 Perfect. Can you
When
repeat that, please?
Yes, because it doesn't define like neither Atlanta, Chicago, New York, just a piece of just one piece doesn't define the development idea of the place.
Exactly.
Any city can be big, any city can have fun and stuff, so it doesn't grab the much attention of the people. We can say like
Excellent.
that. Yeah.
Everything that Tacy just said she's hit the nail on the head. If I can take my answer, like if the question is, what's your favorite city and why? And I can take my answer Atlanta and cross it out and put any other city, that's not well developed. Well developed ideas are engaging, unique, worth talking about. They're worth talking about. So when I'm going to go back to the announcement from last week, and here I said that we started with lesson 1, developing ideas. This is a skill that is critical for anyone entering the job market. And that is because when you guys are going to go into the job market, or when you're going to be looking to advance in your career, you want to make yourselves relevant. You want to be interesting. You want to stand out. You want to not be like everybody else. When we learn to develop ideas, we can be more engaging and relevant. All this is in your Blackboard announcement. And so to practice that, last week I asked you guys about your favorite movie, and I asked you why. Why? Every reason you gave me, I asked, why is that your favorite movie? I kept asking why. So if we go back to, if I go back to this thing right here, to my whiteboard, you should be able to see it. Tell me something about Atlanta. Like, let's say Atlanta is my favorite city. Somebody tell me, give me a reason that is well developed. What is it about Atlanta that makes it your favorite city? You can make it up. I don't care. It's tough, right?
I'm gonna try. So, can I change it to New York because I'm from there?
Sure, sure.
So, New York is my favorite city because people don't sleep. You always have some fun place to go. You meet new people with new ideas, new dreams, people trying to reach in the top. And it's a city where people say people don't stop until they make it. It's really hard over there, but well, I guess I gave some of them. I just I don't
Very
know.
good. That's excellent. Excellent. Very good. Now, one of the things I want to tell you guys, is developing ideas is something that requires a lot of practice and a lot of it's not if the idea, let's say I give you a topic, all right, and you come up with an answer like this, most likely other people are going to come up with that same answer at the like this also. So developing ideas is something that requires conversation, discussion, asking questions, maybe some reading. It's not the first idea that comes to your mind. It should be something that you have to talk about and think about for a while. So this is a good start, Tay. This is a really good start. It's a city of dreams. It's always alive and awake. It's really tough, but if you work hard, you can be successful. So now what I would do to push you even further is I would say take one of these ideas. Just take one of them. Let's say City of Dreams. Okay? Now, what you can do with that is think about that a little bit more and focus on the idea that it's a city of dreams. And how can you break that down into smaller pieces? Or take this idea that it's really tough, but if you work hard, you can make it. And what that allows us to do is that forces us to focus. And when you focus, you're going deeper. So if we try to take one idea and break it down into pieces, those pieces are going to make us be more focused. But if we try to talk about a bunch of different stuff, it's a city of dreams. It's a city that's always alive. It's a city where, anyone can make it. Those are three huge ideas. You can't cover all three in one little essay. I'm going to give you guys a couple of quiet moments to think about what I just said and see if you have any questions.
No question.
Does this concept make sense, or do you want to spend more time on it?
It makes sense for me. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want you guys to think that it's easy or that it's a flip of a switch and it'll come on and everything will be well developed.
No, but I do have a question. When you say it about introducing ourselves, you want us to be more details about what we like, our dreams, what our main goals in this year of college and things like that, right?
Can I talk about something real quick and then answer your question?
Yeah.
All right. So this is the article that, all right, Marjorie, and give me 1 minute. This is an article that I asked you guys to read. How to introduce yourself so you'll be unforgettable in a good way. I want you guys to, even if you read the article, I want you to read it again. So when you're introducing yourself, you want to go just beyond this is my job, right? If I wanted to talk about myself, I could write a whole book. So Marjorie, I'm going to answer your question right now, okay? I'm going to go back to my whiteboard. And Marjorie, I am going to give you another example. We're not going to talk about a city anymore, okay? I'm going to talk about me. My name is Umber Hanif. There are so many things about me. Let's say I'm introducing myself. Okay, my job at GTC, I've been working at Gwinnett Tech for almost 19, actually almost 20 years. my family. So with my family, I can talk about like just my household, or I could talk about my extended family because I'm very close to my extended family as well. I can talk about my extracurricular activities. Now, if I talk about my extracurricular activities, I can talk about how I teach Sunday school. I can talk about how I do work in the refugee community. I can talk about how I do interfaith work. All right. Then I can talk about my ancestry. I can talk about my parents. I can talk about my great-grandparents because my great-grandparents were part of the independence movement from colonial British rule. So I have so many. I can talk about my my philosophy. I have a very strong philosophy of education, public education, college. So do you see, so Marjorie, do you see how many different areas I can talk about? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can give you 5 more. But even when I take one of these, look at that. Look at, there's so many different parts to this. If I look at my extracurricular activities, there's so many different parts. So if I tried to write an introduction about myself that covered all of these parts, I'm going to ask you guys a yes or no question. If I write a one-page introduction about myself, and I try to cover all 5 parts, is it going to be a well-developed introduction or not? Yes or no?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Why not?
because you're just trying to cram the information in.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's not going to be well developed because I'm taking 10 different things and I'm cramming it in. And if I just write 1 sentence on each of these or 2 sentences, I'm going to fill up a page. But are you going to get any depth? There will be no depth. There will be no sophistication. Once I say, I've worked at Gwinnett Tech for 20 years, I've been a program director of English, and I manage 35 adjunct instructors. It's time for me to move on. This is not deep. This is basic information you can find from the website. It's not engaging. It's not interesting. Because I haven't had the chance to get there yet. Because I've got to move on to my next item. So I want to focus on one of these. So if it was me writing this personally, I would focus on, let's see, I would focus on my ancestry, my great-grandparents. I would write the whole introduction about my ancestry, my great-grandparents. My great-grandparents were born in the late 1800s. They were born in northeastern India, close to the border of Nepal. They lived during a time of colonial British rule. They were really oppressed people. Their cotton farms were taken over by the British Empire. They were not allowed to process their cotton anymore. The cotton mill farmers lost their farms. They were not allowed to own their farms anymore. They became slaves on their own farms, and they were not allowed to own their textile mills anymore. So what would happen is that their cotton on their land would be exported by the British to England, and then they would have to purchase their own cotton from the British factories. So my great-grandparents they worked with Gandhi, and they worked in the nonviolent resistance against the British rule. And when my great-grandfather was put in prison, my great-grandmother would go from home to collect the cotton from the people, and they would have these huge bonfires to show as part of their anti-British movement. And so I feel like I have this this fire inside of me. I have this inspiration. in my blood to always work for social justice and to help the people who are oppressed, and I believe in independence and sovereignty and working to make life better for, you know, and for people. I'm going to stop. Do you think there's anyone else in my class who would write the same thing? Is anyone else's introduction going to look like what I just said?
No.
No. Do you see how mine is automatically more interesting than everyone else's now?
Yes.
Okay, so if I just say, I'm a student, I want to study cosmetology, I like cosmetology, I like hair, I love doing hair, I always do my friend's hair, that's not very interesting because everyone who's in cosmetology is going to say the same thing. Or if I say, I'm studying game design because I love playing video games. I've been playing video games since I was 3 years old. I got my first PlayStation when I was 8 years old. I always save up my money and buy a video game. Isn't everyone going to say that? So there's a difference between being engaging and just writing at a very superficial level. You can stay at the superficial level or you can go deep. And in order to go deep, we've got to focus. Marjorie, was that a good enough example? Okay, good. I'm going to give you guys a couple of quiet moments to kind of look at this screen and think about what the things we've said and see if you have any questions. So when you guys read this article, it gives you all these different tips on how you can make your introduction more interesting. And this is really focused on resumes and cover letters and job interviews and going to a job fair. You don't have to focus on any of these, but I wanted you guys to read about, just get some ideas of different things you can do. So if we go to Blackboard and we look at our, go to lessons and we go to developing ideas, we'll see what what assignment is. The assignment is to write a paragraph, just one paragraph. Hold on one second. Yeah. The assignment is to write a paragraph, not long. I'm only asking for 8 to 10 sentences. That's not a lot. I want you to summarize what you understood from the article. So I'm not asking you to like just take any, I want you to think about like, what did I learn from this article, and write a paragraph on that. And then I want you to write another a separate paragraph where you introduce yourself. So your first sentence should not be, hi, my name is. Your name is already on the paper. You don't need to take up a whole sentence doing that. If you want to write a whole paragraph on what your name means and how it's special and how it defines you, that's wonderful. To submit your assignment, you can write the assignment in Microsoft Word, but to submit it, you're going to click on Introduce Yourself, and you can write it in Microsoft Word and then attach it here, or you can click on Write Submission and just write it in here, and then make sure you hit Submit. Are there any questions about the lesson or the assignments?
Excuse me.
Go ahead. Ashima, you go ahead.
I just wanted to know, is it still due for tomorrow?
No, it's not for tomorrow. It'll be Let's make it next Tuesday. I haven't decided when we'll meet next week. I'll put it once I put up the announcement. It won't be tomorrow though. It'll be either next Monday or Tuesday. Just check your announcements afterwards, and I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Joe, what's your question?
Yes, hi. I just wanted to like formally introduce myself because I wasn't at the class last time, and for that I apologize. So I just want to like introduce myself, and I want to ask like how many like assignments are we gonna have like each week for this class?
Well, thank you for introducing yourself, Joe. If anybody else wasn't here last time, remember I told you guys that I know that not everyone's going to be available for every live session. So please just make sure you watch the recording afterwards. You will have an assignment every week.
Well, like just one
Oh,
assignment?
Joe, did you do your, okay, make sure you guys all did your welcome quiz because you were supposed to have done that last week. What's
Yes,
your
ma'am.
question, Joe?
I turned that quiz in on Monday.
Okay, good. All right, Tay, you had a question.
Yes, when I'm introducing myself, just a question. Can we start like without, okay, we don't have to say our name, but we can start like, I'm from this place, tarara,
Sure,
tarara.
I mean, whatever you want your focus to be, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, but don't try to give me your whole background because 8 to
No,
10 sentences is not enough. Right.
okay.
Brianna, question.
I'm sorry, can you go over the assignment just one more time?
Sure, let me share my screen because I think that'll make it easier. All right, so I'm going back to announcements in Blackboard. I haven't put up an announcement for this week. I will, and I will put the due date, which will either be next Monday or Tuesday. So I'm going to lessons. I'm going to lesson 1, and you can see this. The instructions are here under introduce yourself. You're going to. I want you to read that article again, the how to introduce yourself, and you're going to write an 8 to 10 sentence paragraph telling me what you learned from the article, and then you're going to write another 8 to 10 sentence paragraph on the same paper, the same page, introducing yourself.
Okay,
Brianna,
thank you.
okay, sure. Jariah, what's your question?
I already did my assignment and I want to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, that's
And
why
I
I told you guys. Yeah, I told you guys to hold off on that. I want if you already did it and turned it in, I want you to go back and do it again because based on today's lesson.
okay. Can I just like do I just drop it right in the same Dropbox again?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it so that you can turn in multiple, and I'll just grade the last one you turn in.
All right.
Yeah. Any other? I'm gonna stop the recording, guys.